So who are like the top maybe 2 characters who have inspired you either personally or professionally, and why?
So I would say Gina Torres as Zoe, because she was just badass. She was unapologetically badass. She was also in the relationship. She was the protector. And for those of us who were tomboys or who were maybe pushed the boundaries of gender, that was really nice to see in a body that reflected something that I could identify with. And then similarly, Auntie Entity. Like, first of all, legs. Like, goals forever. I'm going to do squats when I leave here. But, like, she was in charge. And for me, I don't think, I like the intersection of, like, women who looked like me or who looked like women I was related to, but also who were empowered and embodied that power and were not afraid to act on it, who were autonomous and made decisions. I mean, and Zoe defied Malcolm all the time, right? Like, and that's part of it. It's not your second in command and so you listen. It's your second in command and so steel against steel is sharpened, and that requires her to be steel. And that requires her to be strong in her own right. And that's the same for Auntie Entity.
For me, hey, so for me, it's a little bit offbeat, but Kendra from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
I mean, she became a Slayer, guys. I mean, wow. You know, she had the powers when poor Buffy died and went to hell. Bless her heart. You know, bless her heart. Sorry, Buffy. That really was terrible. But hello, Kendra. And, you know, I mean, for a hot, brief minute there, you had a Slayer of color, and that just meant a lot to me in school, just to see her. So that, she inspired me. And Astrid from Springe. Okay, because she just, I mean, she had agency, her hair, hello, you know, and as the series wore on, they came to rely on her so much, you know. She didn't kind of just disappear into the background, they needed her. And she was integral to the plot and solving issues, so she just inspired me a lot as well.
So mine are, I feel like they're a little off to the side, but mine is the yellow Power Ranger. I love her.
Okay, which one? Trini, Aisha, Tanya, you gotta be specific.
The first one.
Trini.
I thought it was so cool. She wasn't one of those, you know, damsels in distress that I saw growing up in Disney. She could kick ass and she could have the greatest hairdo ever. I thought that was amazing. I was like, you can do everything that you want. And then my second one was, you saw Stargate, right? Atlantis. I love that woman so much because, in my opinion, when I was growing up, it was more like, you know, you have to have a family, you have to settle down, you have to grow, you know, have your kids. She did all of that, and she went on missions, and she had a gun, and she knew what the hell she was doing. And sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, she was the one that was saving all of those men's butts. All of them. So those were 2 that I found really inspirational.
So I'm older than all of them, old enough to be their mothers. So to be perfectly honest, when I was coming up, there wasn't anybody but Nichelle Nichols. It was her. And I sort of objected to the fact that she was just a communication, and every once in a while she would kiss Kirk, and then the hailing frequencies would be open. So, you know, so for me, this is important, and I'd love to hear how much this influenced you. I did go on to become an engineer, but it was very, very hard because there were no models of us, so it was just sort of disappointing, I guess, you know, for me coming up. And it wasn't until maybe I was in high school that we started to actually get women of color who were not secondary, who weren't props in television.
I think the reboot was important for that because it expanded her role so much, and it's like, oh, you're more than a secretary.
Yeah.
You're doing something that's really important, that it is vital. Like, you were literally the only reason that we are able to communicate with these other people.
Right, but for me, I still think it's an issue because, you know, we're all sort of in science fields. I think it's still important for you to actually see us saving the day, and I don't think you necessarily have to be a warrior either. And so it's sort of for me, I don't think we're there. I love all these characters, but I'm still, less than a percentage of female engineers, or black female engineers. All right, so we've made all this thing, and now we can kick butt, we can kill zombies, but we can't do math. So, for me, I think it's still an issue with representation.
That's why one of the, I don't know if you guys remember the show S.T.E.M with the Halle Berry.
Yes.
I loved it, and she was saving the day. She wasn't a kick-ass warrior or anything like that, but she was smart, and her smarts helped her to, try and figure out what was going on with her. So I was really sad when that was canceled, but, it should have gone on a bit longer because I think her character would have made a bigger impact.
You guys make me think of something. When it comes to the characters who I admire, I also admire your training. And Myra from Power Rangers, who's my absolute favorite. Because, yes, she was a kick-ass warrior, but she was also extremely smart. Just extremely smart and extremely capable. And I was like, oh my God, you can do everything. And while it's kind of off topic because we've been talking and the focus of here is kind of live action television, Keisha from Magic School Bus was awesome. Thinking of, girls of color who were smart, who could keep up, who was like, I was just like, yes, Kendra, you are exactly who I see myself as when I'm in school. So just thinking, but thinking of as far as representation. And, with this panel, yes, I totally agree. I feel like we're not, like, quote unquote, there yet, wherever there is.
Right.
But it's also, I think, important for us to acknowledge that, we're not where we were.
We're not where, I don't know that that's a true statement.
Okay.
We as people of color, we are not increasing in our ranks in STEM fields. It's actually decreasing as far as our percentage of the overall population. So I would hope that as we do more and we see ourselves better represented, that we don't just dress as our heroes, but we go to school to become our heroes. We need more Mae Jamisons. We need more women of color in science doing those types of things. For me, that's what science fiction, I'm into science fiction, and I'm an engineer because I wanted to make a transporter. I'm that kid. So I would hope that it would sort of get us there, not just beyond the fantasy, but into translating that into actual advantage for our community.
And I wanted to ask both Sabrina and Samara, both of you, actively work on educating people in various ways. Sabrina, I know you work on educating young people about STEM and STEM fields and using your art to kind of bring that to light. Samara, I know, of course, you were an educator as far as, chemistry is concerned, but also you mentioned kind of educating people about, like, your religion and your background. And so I'm wondering, how does that educational piece dovetail with, inspiring people of diverse backgrounds and kind of allowing people to see things that they may not see otherwise?
So that is, wow, that's a tough question. Okay, I'm not smart enough to answer. Let's try this. I guess I'll have to go back. 1990s, I was a huge science nerd. I loved everything, chemistry, bio, whatever it was, but I didn't see a lot of women in that field. And as I kept growing and as I kept going through this USA amazing public school system, I noticed that there were fewer people of color, unfortunately, and even women who were encouraged to go towards math, science, things like that, because growing up, you're told, well, what do you need it for? You're going to become a wife and have kids. You're going to sit at home. That's what my culture normally teaches us. I don't know about everyone else's culture, but when I started teaching, I made sure that I encouraged anyone and everyone who was interested in STEMs, in whatever field, that yeah, you can do it. You can do whatever you want. You want to be a scientist, you can be a scientist. You want to be a pirate, be a pirate. I wanted to be a pirate in my imagination for a long time, but no, and I feel like these day and ages, there's more of an encouragement. Like teachers try to encourage students, do what you want to do, be what you want to be, and parents too. Parents are like, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. And so, for me, I've seen it evolve. I've seen it become better. And that's my semi-intelligent answer.
You did good. So, like I mentioned before, like as a kid, I was not exposed to science or technology or any of these things until, I took science, I took physics, I took chemistry, and I did well. I took math, I was awesome in these subjects. But it didn't dawn on me. I was in the 12th grade, and up until then, I was either playing basketball or I was being an artist. And I thought, well, has to be some path for me to choose, to go to college and maybe be a famous artist, I guess, or play in the WNBA. Like, that's what I thought as a 12th grader. And it was my art teacher who said, hey, you're good at math, you're good at science, why don't you try mechanical engineering? And I'm like, what is that? I had no idea. So I had to research and figure out what it was, and here I was, the valedictorian of my high school class, and I had no idea what I could do with that. No one told me anything. I didn't have people to look up to who were in science and math, right? So, thank God I got into a school and they gave me a full ride, and I did mechanical engineering, and I just kept learning and getting exposed to more and more along the way. So with my art, right? So what I did was I put the art down and I went through my studies, at least through the graduate program, and then I picked it back up once I started working at NASA, because the artist never left. It was the curiosity in me that kept me going and still keeps me going at NASA. So when I picked up the paintbrush again and the color pencils and everything, right? I started to think about all these children that I interact with when I do outreach at the job. And I said, there are a bunch of kids that I'm noticing we're not getting through to with our outreach programs. And the only way for me to get to those students, who most of them look like me, is to kind of take myself back to when I was in their shoes. And so what I do now is I formed a business where I tie STEM with art, what they call it STEAM or whatever. But most of these STEAM programs are really technically based. I focus more on the art, and I teach the STEM through the art, right? So I'm doing that, and I'm trying to live that. So even right now, I'm still curious, and my curiosity has led me into the sciences now. So I'm back in school again, right? PhD, right? But I'm trying to live it out for these students, the youth that I'm, educating. Like, here, this is how you do it. Like, you can do art and you can do, STEM. And maybe it doesn't look like the way I'm doing it, but at least I'm trying to live it, right? For me, that means becoming more of a scientist than an engineer, and combining those, because there's creativity in the sciences, and showing that to students. And so that's what I do. But it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and it's something that I'm willing to live out. And so that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, don't say it 'cause I know I'm cute. Ooh, baby. Louis down to my drawers, LV all on my shoes. Ooh, baby. I be dripping so much sauce, got a bit looking like ragu. Lit up like a crystal ball, that's cool, baby, so is you, that's how I roll. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. I like shot a nigga better over time. They just say I'm not the baddest bitch you like. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the put it in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice. 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 No, I'm not a snack at all. Look, baby, I'm the whole damn meal. David, you ain't being slick. Don't dare try to cop a feel. The juice ain't worth the squeeze if the juice don't look like this. Hold up, nigga, please don't make me have to take your bitch. Shit. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. I like shot a nigga better over time. Heard you say I'm not the baddest bitch you like. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the put it in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice. 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 Somebody come get this man. I think he got lost in my DMs.